So before we get into it, let me explain why I think you'll agree with me on this and why everyone would praise this feature and would love it in every single game and it would never be a miss. Now, I can only think of two games that have it. And if you can think of any more that I don't know about, drop them in the comments below and let me know. So first off, let me explain why this came to light. Right. So recently I was playing Star Wars Outlaws. I know you can slate it as much as you want, but I thought it was pretty good, and I'm a massive fan of Star Wars, as you can see behind me. Got Chewbacca and R2D2 there. And so I was playing it, and I was on the main world at the beginning, and I was carrying on doing the missions. And all right, it's all right. It's quite decent. Kind of liked it, and I got about 10 hours in, and some random girl just shows up and like tries to attack you, and she's kind of like integral to the beginning of the story, and I just forgot who it was. Like you see her at the very beginning, and I just completely forgot who it was. And this is the girl I'm talking about. And if you played Star Wars Outlaws, you'll know there's a big gap of the game where if you're doing a few side missions, I'm playing, is it called Sabaka? I think it's called, but I like that game. Any card game in any game I'm a sucker for. Like Final Fantasy VIII, I think I spent most of my time, and The Witcher, just like playing Gwent and the card game on Final Fantasy VIII, because I just, every time there's a card game in a game, I've just got to play it. I don't know what it is, it's just something hooks me about it. But anyway, so what I'm talking about is that this happened and I just had no recollection of who this woman was. And it's a big part of the story because then she sticks with you after it for a while. And I'm thinking like, I don't want to go back and replay this just so I know who this woman is. And it got me thinking because a couple of months back I played Alan Wake Remastered. I played the Alan Wake when it first came out and I loved it, and I thought I'll get the remaster now before I play Alan Wake 2. And it has a feature that when you finish each chapter, before it starts the next one, it has a previously on thing. And it's so good because that story can be a bit confusing sometimes. So to have like a previously on thing, it makes it, first off, it makes it more like a TV show, and it's Alan Wake's little unique way of doing stuff, and it's just great, and it just works. And yeah, it also serves as a reminder of the stuff that you might have forgot about, because sometimes it's a bit convoluted, so you do forget a few things or just don't understand a few things because you just lose track. So this is a great little way of setting you up for, the game's carry on. Now, the only other game I can think of off the top of my head was Driver San Francisco, and we're talking like, when was that game out? I think it was like late early 2000s, like 2008, 7, somewhere around there. It was a while back. It was on the 360 anyway. And that had it. Every time you load up a save, it'd remind you of what had happened already. Now, this is the reason why this would be such a great thing is like, I love The Witcher. I played it once, and the reason why I want to get back into it, I want to play it again. But the reason that keeps me away from it is because now I have kids and a family and stuff. I'm not going to be able to smash like 10 hours a day of The Witcher or try and do 30 hours of it in a week. And it's a long game. So if I play a game and I'm going like, say I played 6 hours one week and then I don't have time to play it for like another 2 weeks or whatever, then to have a reminder, just dive back in, it's so much better. And it'd be a win-win. And I don't get why a lot of games don't have this, because especially open world games, every open world game and every RPG, if it had this feature, everyone would love it. Now, like I said, I can only think of two games. There's The Drive of San Francisco and Alan Wake. And that's what gutted me about Alan Wake 2 a bit, because Alan Wake 2 doesn't have this, and Alan Wake 2 is even longer. It's an even longer game. The story is a bit more complicated. It's a great game, but I prefer Alan Wake 1 just because of this reason. But they're both great, and if you've not played them, I suggest you both check them out, because they're just, there's nothing, in terms of like horror games, there's nothing like them, and they're just absolute belters of games. But anyway, so yeah, let me know if there's more games that have this feature, and apart from the two I've mentioned, because I can't think of any, and I think it should be something that's in a lot. Assassin's Creed games, there's another one, that would, having this feature in them type of games would just be absolutely perfect with how like Valhalla, for instance. Valhalla's a long game and a lot goes on. It'd be good to have reminders for it, but yeah, that's been and gone by now. That's been and gone now. But hopefully in future installments, this would be something that could be considered. But with the way Ubisoft's going, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath. So yeah, let me know if there's any more that you can think of. But is it a good thought? Is it a good idea? I think every game should have this, and it just would be a win-win across the board. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. Leave us a like. Appreciate it, subscribe, and drop your comments down below about these games that I don't know about. Cheers, guys. Bye.